Oh, baby.
Young one miss. You ready?
Yeah, let's stick our foot in the ground and call it a play. Yeah, let's go.
No, it's back. Give it to the quarterback. No, we got the running back. What?
Straight off the couch.
Here are the stories we're going to be chasing today.
Well, we're going to be reviewing last week's games. That's Thanksgiving weekend, and previewing next week's games. But before we get too far into it, let me bring in my broadcast partner, the silly and salacious Adam Weidel. Adam, how are you today, brother?
I'm doing good. I don't know how silly I'm feeling, but I'm definitely doing well.
Come on, man. Your team is in first place. Silly up.
Same with yours. Oh, my goodness.
Did you have that in your bingo card before we started the season?
No, I don't know what year we're in, but I feel like we rented a DeLorean for the weekend or something.
It's Bizarro world, but I'll take it.
Yeah,
you know?
Who knew Bizarro football would turn out in our favors? But
absolutely.
There's still 5 weeks left, so let's not get too overzealous.
Well, let's start then, and we'll go ahead and preview the Thanksgiving Day games, or not preview, review the Thanksgiving Day games. The first one was the Packers go into Detroit, and just I don't even know how to describe what happened there.
The Lions really rely on the sun god, and without him in the lineup, they really didn't know how to adapt.
It's not just that, though. I really don't think Dan Campbell should be playing call play. You know, I'm sorry.
You know what? This is going to be another highlight reel when the Lions don't make the playoffs. You can make another highlight reel because you keep saying that every week. I agree with you. How many times can you go for it on fourth down and not make it?
Last year, their success rate was 66.8%. This year, it's 44.6%.
And they seem, well, I mean, that's going to happen. They seem to be going for it a lot more. What was it? The Eagles game, they went for it 5 times and got stopped 5 times?
Yeah. What I think it is Dan Campbell, really good offensive play callers, like Ben Johnson, for example. They'll call a play even if they know it's going to fail, just to set the team up they're playing, just to set the defense. And,
yeah, it's a long con,
and he's not long conning anybody. He's looking at the immediate. Yeah. He's a fat guy at a buffet. Give me the stuff I want. You know, he's not looking.
And a good OC will see the same lineup on the other side and go, you remember 20 plays ago when we did this thing and it failed? We're going to line up like that, so they think we're going to do that play again,
right?
And then we're going to do something completely different.
And that's what Ben does really well, and Dan is failing at. So anyway, the Packers 31, Lions 24. The Lions were never really in that game. Let's move on to the next game of the day. Kansas City going into Dallas, and oh my goodness, I didn't have this outcome on my bingo card.
No, I didn't have this game as exciting as it was on my bingo card. I feel like we had Christmas on Thursday. Like it was,
right?
It was such a good day for football. I mean, sure, the Lions weren't in the game and they started at like 1:00 noon your time, but it kind of like led us into the rest of the day. And then that Chiefs Cowboys late window was just wow.
Yeah. Dallas wound up pulling that one out 31-28. The Chiefs, that score's a lot closer than the game was.
Yeah. The Cowboys definitely dominated time of possession and the field.
Yeah, and
it didn't feel like the Chiefs were in that game at all. And yeah, you're right. To win it by a field goal seems like what happened? You know?
and Dallas's defense came to play for a change.
And yeah, speaking of defenses,
that brings us to our next game. The Bengals go into the Ravens, and they beat the crap out of them.
Like totally beat the crap out of them. And the game started off with the graphics, you know, like they do the network graphics, and they're using turkeys and stuffing and a whole bunch of things being put on the table, and they're talking about the Bengals defense, and everything's burnt and they're just like, the Bengals are the worst defensive team in the league right now, and they haven't done anything. And then they just curb stomp the Ravens.
They held them to 14 points. And while we're on the subject of Thanksgiving Day, can we let John Madden rest in his fucking grave for one fucking year? I am so tired of all day long it was Madden. The guy died 5 years ago. He hasn't called a game in 20. Let the fucker sleep.
Yeah. Coach messaged me on the weekend too and asked about the little circles on the Thanksgiving Day uniforms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I had to explain who John Madden was, and yeah. So anyway, he watches games with the sound off because he just likes the
that's
the outfits.
I've watched a few TV shows like that, so I understand where Coach is coming from.
Well, some of these commentators, I mean, I've been very tempted to hit mute.
Oh yeah, no kidding. And that brings us to the Black Friday game. Adam picked the Bears. I picked the Eagles. Even though I'm a Bears fan, I just didn't see the Bears winning. They not only won, they went into Philadelphia and manhandled that really stout defensive line, man.
They're the only team in the league that's figured out the tush push.
Stopped them cold and got a turnover out of it.
Yeah. And then, Ben Johnson rips his shirt off in the locker room. Like, I mean, the Bears are on fire right now. And it's the best time of year to be on fire.
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about the upcoming games, but yeah, this is the December 2nd, and they're in first place, not only in their division, but in the conference. Last time that happened was 2018.
That's crazy.
I'll take it.
Yeah, and what happened to them in 2018?
That was when they got a first-round bye and played Philadelphia and had the double doink.
Yep, the double doink.
And
so
is maybe just me, but it seems like there's been a lot of doinking since that game in the league in general. There's more doinks than there were prior to that game. So
it's because they've got the goalposts all mic'd up and the sound is
could be yeah,
trying to get samples for the audio booth.
So are there any of the early window Sunday games that caught your attention?
Big one. Panthers smacked around the Rams.
Oh, huge.
It was a competitive game. Like, it was nice to see competitive football come back this week.
Yep.
Because we did have, unless you're the Browns, but anyway, The Panthers win against the Rams. That was a really exciting game. There was a lot of lead changes there. Panthers are in the lead in that division. I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card.
No, the other one, the one that I watched, the one that was in my area that was being broadcast, Texans and Colts. Holy cow.
I watched that one too.
Houston's defense is a fucking nightmare for opposing teams, man.
Well, ever since, what did Coach call them? The Hells Angels or something, whatever that he said last week about their uniforms. Ever since they wore those Red Devil uniforms.
Holy cow.
Wow. They have come on, and, now they got CJ back, so, the sky's the limit with them.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to face the Houston Texans defense in the postseason this year.
A little bit of a snorer game, but it got really competitive, was Dolphins Saints.
Yep.
I was just like, whoa. And same with Jets and Falcons. I was like, who's going to be the first one to lose? Because these teams, the Jets are the Jets, but the Falcons have been super streaky.
The Falcons are in football hell right now.
Yeah.
The Falcons fans are in football hell. They're not low enough to get a first-round pick. Their record, they're competitive to a certain point, but they don't ever get into the postseason, and they don't ever suck to the point where you get the first one or two picks. They're in football hell.
And the other honorable mention in the early window was Jags beating the crap out of the Titans.
Yeah, but that's, it's the Titans. Yeah.
Well, they're taking the division now. They're the head of the division. So it's like, Jaguars? Who saw that coming?
And in the late window games, that was the Seahawks just but Minnesota might as well have stayed in Minneapolis. And I think they did. It was 26-0.
So there was a graphic that got put up somewhere, and it showed the last two starting QBs of the Vikings had a lower quarterback rating than if you or I got on the field and just threw the ball into the ground every snap.
Right. Clocked it every time. Yeah.
Yeah. Just what the fuck? So the Vikings, good season, guys, I guess. Better luck next year.
We're at that point in the season where a lot of teams are going to start calling it in. And one of them could be the Steelers. It depends on what happens this weekend. Because the Bills went into Pittsburgh and just they bitch slapped those guys.
Well, I don't know what happened there because that was a very competitive game in the first half. And then they just blew the doors off them, like 26 points in the second half or something.
I think what it was is that nasty hit on Rodgers shook him, and he never really got back in the game. That's what I think happened.
Yeah, his nose, man. The memes were great this week, though. Let's give props to the internet trolls for making some great memes.
And that brings us to our Sunday night game, Broncos at Commanders. I think both you and I picked Broncos, but it went into overtime, and it went down to the last play, and their head coach for Washington said, let's go for 2 and go for the win. We don't want the tie. And they didn't make it. Broncos won 27-26.
Yeah, it was a poorly executed 2-point conversion. Like, I don't know what they were thinking there. Defensive lineman got right through.
Yeah, nobody touched him. Nobody touched him. He just got his hands up.
So I don't know who called that play, but it was an awful play call. Personally, that late in the game, having an extra 10-minute frame, a game that started in November and ended in December, it spanned across 2 separate months. I would have just kicked it and took the tie, because that would have played a little spoiler on the Broncos too.
Yep.
It would have fucked with Vegas, but yeah, that one I actually ended up going to bed as soon as they announced overtime because I was just like, you know what, I'll catch the score tomorrow, and then I watched the 2 scores that happened the next day. And I was like, okay, I'm glad I didn't stay up for this because...
Yeah, there was nothing flashy, nothing fantastic, nothing earth-shattering, but the Broncos did win. And that brings us to our Monday night game. Speaking of teams who are going to be done for the season, the Giants are toast.
Oh, I think they were mathematically eliminated from the playoffs last week.
Yeah, and the Patriots... I get it. I keep hearing about strength of schedule. I hear about it with the Bears too. You can only play the teams that are on your schedule, and you got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and that's what both the Patriots and the Bears are doing. But the Patriots did it last night in grand fashion, 33-15. Giants were never in the game.
No, it was 17-0 at the beginning.
Yeah.
It started with a field goal. I was a little disappointed because I was just like, you're right at the goal line, and they're not going for it on 4th down. They don't have Dan Campbell as the head coach. Vrabel's like, you know what? We're a smart football team. We don't make too many mistakes. Let's take the points. And it's a smart play. And then, they go 3 and out on the Giants, and all of a sudden it's a punt return for a touchdown. And it's like, holy shit, it's now 10-0.
Yep.
They 3 and out on the Giants again. And they push it down the field, and it's now 17-0. And I looked over and I was like, there's still 33 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And I was just like, if they make 40 points, I wonder who they're going to put in, because they're not going to play Drake.
And credit to the Patriots defense, they were hitting hard all night long. If anything,
that looked like some 80s shit out there, man. I was just like, oh, here comes a penalty. Nope, no penalty.
Well, and some of that's on Dart. You have to commit to going out of bounds. If you don't commit to going out of bounds, you are just like a running back, and you're going to get hit just like a running back. And he got hit just like a running back.
And he got he's lucky he didn't get hit like Gunnar Olszewski and take the N off the damn helmet. That's how hard he got hit.
Oh yeah. It was just
And the paint.
And the paint, yeah, took the end in the paint, and he didn't even bother. Just bring me in the blue tent, coach. I'm done.
Oh, he didn't look good. That was a wild hit, and he looked like had 2 guys taking him like, oh, you've had enough today, Gunner. Let's no more drinks for you, buddy. Like, he looked drunk coming off the field.
Why don't you sit the next couple of plays out there, champ?
Yeah, sit out the rest of the season after that hit. Holy shit!
Did I hear a car door in your driveway?
Yeah, I heard something.
All right. There he is, straight from Milan, Italy, where he was watching satellite feeds. It's Coach Blackwell. Coach, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, Terry. How are you boys?
Just swell, thank you for asking.
I forgot that it was Thanksgiving weekend and there were so many games over so many days, so I missed some of the stuff, but I did see on screens there was some pretty flashy uniforms.
There was. Which one were your favorites this weekend?
Well, first of all, I actually texted Adam and I was just like, what is up with the little like Thanksgiving patch guy that they got on there? And he tells me it's John Madden or something like that. And I was just like, why are they celebrating the video game guy? Like, why? I don't get it. And he had to explain some things to me. So apparently the guy that created the video game, I don't know what he has to do with Thanksgiving. It must have been his birthday or something. So they put
it was his
patch on all
birthday. It was his birthday. Yeah.
Yeah, on their uniforms. So I like that on the Thanksgiving Day games that everybody had the little, NFL Madden little patch there so that they could hit X and square and triangle on their controllers. For outfits this week, Arizona, I always talk about Arizona and their red jammies. They said, fuck it. We're going white jammies. They went full white. I couldn't believe it. I know I've shit on white all this year, but this week it wasn't red, and I was just impressed that they didn't go with their red jammies.
Well, sure. Why not? I mean, shake it up a little bit. Sure. So,
Dallas came in their all-star uniforms, so they all look like all-stars, and it turned out really good for them. Detroit came in a minimalistic silver and blue with no branding. No branding at all.
The Honolulu blue jerseys and the flat gray pants, yeah.
Had no branding, didn't say Lions, didn't say Detroit. The only thing I saw on their uniforms was the Nike swoosh, because you got to represent.
Sure.
Chargers came out in dark blue supercharger look. I actually really liked that look when they did it a couple weeks ago, Terry. I think you liked it too.
I do. I think that's a good look with the yellow bolt and the white outline and the dark blue every place else. Yes, sir.
The Seahawks came out again in their throwbacks, which I think is a beautiful look. And speaking of throwbacks, Patriots came out in those old school throwbacks with the little football guy on the helmet. I love that little football guy.
I noticed that Denver went alternate colors as well, but I'm sorry, Coach, there was no Big D for you this week.
No, I left them out on purpose.
Because you missed the D.
They left out the Big D, and how can I be fulfilled without a Big D? Philly came out in a blacked out look on Black Friday. They were like, oh, it's Black Friday. We're going to come out in a blacked out look. Well, I think they blacked out during the game because they forgot how to play football against those Bears.
That's the way it looked, sir.
But finally, my fit of the week, Ravens show up. I mean, they didn't play well, but they showed up in their Rise Up Crown Royal bag uniforms. I really like the look. I could lose the decal on the helmet, though.
I like that.
The helmet. The helmet is so flat. It's got this nice matte flat finish, and then it's got this big shiny bird on the side. If they dulled it down, or they gave it like made the old school Raven like gold or something, and it was the same flat color, I think that would work wonderful for them. Other than that, I think Derrick Henry looked like the biggest Crown Royal bag I've ever seen, and it was yummy looking.
That might be the first time in history that Derrick Henry's been compared to a bag.
Well, I don't know. I just watch it for the fashion.
I know. I'm just saying. All right. Anything else, buddy? Before you head out?
That's everything for me this week. A little birdie did tell me that we're going to see some new uniforms this week, though, so I'm excited for that.
Well, thanks for stopping by as always, and we'll talk to you next week, buddy.
Toodaloo, boys.
And he's out. Adam, what are the standings? Because I know you picked up a game or two this week.
I did pick up a game or two. Because I just picked some weird stuff, and I'm kind of kicking myself because when we looked at that Chiefs Cowboys game, you said something that resonated with me, and I think that kind of did the whole peer pressure thing. Is like, you have to pick the Chiefs here. You're stupid if you don't pick the Chiefs. So we both picked the Chiefs. And my heart said, I think the Cowboys might be able to pull an upset. Anyway, Terry, we have the symmetry going on again this week. You are 26-21. I'm 21-26.
I love the symmetry, buddy.
So I'm getting a little bit closer.
Well, and you might catch up this week. So let's go ahead and start next week's games. Thursday night, we have Dallas going into Detroit. I think I'm going to go Dallas on this.
Then I am going the opposite.
Okay.
I do agree with your...
Dallas beat the last 2 years, or the last year's both teams that were in the Super Bowl last year. Dallas beat both of them in 4 days. Their offense is hitting on all cylinders. Their defense is coming together. Right now, the Lions are a shamble. Chris, I know you're listening, and I don't want to hear any angry texts. I'm sorry, but I got to go Cowboys.
I'll be honest. I'm just going to go the opposite of you. I think this is going to be a fairly even match game. If I look at how these teams are playing right now, I do believe the Cowboys are the better team, but I'm also looking at things like Lions are at home. They're taking some shit. If they don't win this game, I believe their championship window is closed for a very long time.
Ooh, that's a bold prediction. So yeah, it'll be a good game to watch though. That'll be on Amazon Prime, 7:15 my time, 6:50 or 8:15 your time.
Yay!
Is there anything in the early window that's standing out to you? Because I have some thoughts in the late window.
Okay, let me just have a quick scan of the early window.
And there's one game in the early window. Once I bring it up, you're going to go, ooh yeah.
Indy Jacksonville is the big one for me.
Bengals at Bills. The Bengals are mathematically, the Bengals can still win that division.
Yes, if everybody has a giant shit.
No, Bengals win out. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to beat Baltimore, and that's
I don't know. I don't know. I've kind of given up on that division. You know, you thought the Ravens were hot, you thought the Steelers were hot, and they kind of just the Ravens gave 4 or 5 turnovers on their last game.
Those 2 games are both at noon on Sunday. Bengals at Bills, Steelers at Ravens.
Okay, well, that's something they'll be watching. I'm definitely going to be watching Chicago Green Bay.
That's in the late window, and I'm going to be watching.
Oh, sorry, that is in the late window. The other early window is Indy Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, yeah.
They're both 8-4. I think that's going to be a very competitive game, but I could be wrong.
And the Colts have lost 2 in a row. They're going to want to pick it up here, and the Jaguars are playing really well. So yeah, that'll be.
And they want to hang on to that top spot in the division, right?
Absolutely. They want to stay up there near the Patriots, and if they lose another one, they won't do that.
Cincy Buffalo will be a good game, I think, because Joe Cool. And if that Cincy defense shows up and Buffalo is just, we don't know what we're doing. I'm sorry to Bills fans, but man, I told you so.
They're streaky as hell this year. And what about the late window besides Packers-Bears, which we talked about briefly?
Packers-Bears is the only real one for me because the other 2 games is Denver-Las Vegas. I know it's a divisional, but Vegas is eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, they could play spoiler. Same with Arizona and Los Angeles Rams. Arizona's eliminated from the playoffs, but they can play spoiler.
Yeah, I was a little surprised Carolina beat the Rams last week. I don't think they're going to come out flat after that. I think they're going to come out a little fired up, and I feel sorry for the Arizona fans, to be honest with you, because Matt Stafford's going to put on a clinic, I believe.
But Chicago Green Bay, I think, is the late window game to watch.
And
both those teams have stakes.
They both have stakes. Green Bay is only behind the Bears because of the tie with Dallas. Otherwise, they would have identical records. And historically, since I want to say 98 or 99, historically the Packers played better in December than Chicago. Their record against Chicago is something stupid like 20-4 or something like that. But this is a completely different Bears team. So it's going to be a really good game. I'm a little scared.
It's a different Green Bay team as well.
You
don't have to listen to Aaron Rodgers say that he owns you.
Well, that's true. And it's just something that I want to do. I want to have Ben Johnson say,
"Cram it up your cram hole, LaFleur."
I want that. I want that so bad. And that brings us.
I'm rooting for Chicago on this one because it's just. I mean, we need a change of the guard. It's overdue. We're also looking at second-year quarterbacks doing wonderful things. Chicago, second-year quarterback. New England, second-year quarterback. Wouldn't it be something if we had a Chicago New England Super Bowl? But then everybody would be like, I thought the dynasty was over and they're back again. Ah!
If it winds up being Chicago New England for the Super Bowl, we're going to have to do the show in person. Maybe stream it live or something.
We might have to go to the actual Super Bowl. We might have to blow the budget, Terry, and go to San Francisco.
Well, we can probably
do the show in the stands.
You know, we have been doing the show for a few years now. I don't know how, but we might be able to get press credentials, and we wouldn't be out of pocket at all.
Oh yes, we'll be like the Mexicans. They always get the free passes.
Yeah. I
don't know how they do it, but if I spoke Spanish, then I'd find out.
Well, you speak Canadian. That's a foreign language.
Is
that, That's a foreign language.
Just say sorry a lot, and they're like,
sorry.
We apologize, Mr. Sorry. Here's your badges.
Oh, so where's the pool on, eh? That brings us to our
let's
Sunday
move into
night
our
game.
Sunday nighter.
And this is a game that's this one's the Chiefs need to win out to have any chance. And
there is sizable stakes on the line here.
And they're going against the best defense in the NFL in Houston. However, the Chiefs are at home. So just because I want to see the Chiefs get knocked out, I'm going to go Texans.
Terry. Well, I hope you're right. I will take the Chiefs. Not because I believe in the Chiefs. I actually want to see the Texans win this game because that's going to make the drama at the end of the season a little more sweeter because that division's humming along right now and it's very competitive.
It really is.
But I have this like sneaky suspicion that it's like the league wants to show the Chiefs can do it all. So they can do it from the number 1 seed. They can do it from a wild card. They can sneak in at the last minute when somebody ties or something.
Oh no, I want to see them go down in flames.
Like them going down to the Texans basically eliminates them from the playoffs, and I don't think they can get in at that point.
And I'm totally okay with that.
But there is stakes on both sides, so I think it's going to be a competitive game. It should be fun to watch.
Absolutely, and like we've talked about, that Texans defense is insane.
Number 1 in the league.
Oh man, and that brings us to our Monday night game. I have thoughts on this. Eagles at Chargers. Eagles need to pull their shit together.
They do, and after their OC's house got egged for if Philly fans, I'm sorry if you're a Philly fan.
They're brutal. They're brutal.
Man, oh man. People that live in Philadelphia are so toxic. They're just like, fly, Eagles, fly when they're winning. But when they're losing, they're behind by a field goal and they're going in at halftime. They're getting booed off the field. It's like, what the fuck, guys?
And you just know it got egged because they didn't have any Molotov cocktails. Otherwise, it'd have been burning down. You just know it.
Yeah, throwing horse shit and eating horse shit and tipping cars over and greasing telephone poles and oh my god, weird shit in Philadelphia.
They're so brutal, man.
So what are your actual thoughts on the game? Do you think the Eagles are going to pull up their socks when they go into LA, or do you think LA has it in them to beat the Super Bowl champs?
I think, the offensive coordinator is making some really bad decisions when he's calling plays. I mean, you have Saquon Barkley, that's a generational running back. You have Jalen Hurts, who can run really well. You have A.J. Brown, he's a future Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about it. And he's calling all pass plays in the second half when he has a lead.
Yeah. Run some clock, bud.
Eat some clock up. And I think I'm not in there's speculation. I think there might be a little bit of a schism going on between the offensive and the defensive side of the ball in the locker room because the defense actually is holding teams to pretty good points.
Yeah, I mean their defense is legit.
Yeah.
It's just their offense is streaky, and they did the same thing on the Black Friday.
Yeah.
As we talked about last week, points in the first half, no points in the second.
They got 14 points in the second, but it wasn't.
Oh, sorry, it was reversed.
Yeah,
it was reversed. But they only play football one half.
Actually, it was one quarter. I mean, being honest, it was all their points were in the third.
So we don't know if Justin Herbert's going to play because he is in for hand surgery today, but they're talking that he might play.
And it's his non-throwing hand.
It's his non-throwing hand, so they'll probably just glove him up and.
Yeah, and it depends because they don't run a lot of stuff out of shotgun and bootleg him a lot, so he's going to have to be able to take snaps under center. So it depends on how well he can manage the pain from the snaps.
Well, and they like the run game.
They like the run game. Yeah,
they like the run game. So who you got? Eagles or Chargers? I know it's a coin flip.
Well, it's a coin flip because we don't know about Herbert. If Herbert's starting, I'm going Chargers. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and plant that flag now, Chargers. I think the Eagles are just melting down, and that's a dumpster fire.
Well, then I'm going to take the Eagles. I'll be the toxic fan base this week. I'll just say sorry a lot when, sorry about that.
That's totally fair, man.
We got to elevate the fan base somehow. The rest of them are eating horse shit and stuff.
Speaking of eating, it's time for Straight Into Your Stomach. Brought to us by Straight Off the Couch. What did you do for Sunday food? Or I know Thursday was here, but you have give me 2 game days.
2 game days. So Thursday I made a pizza.
Good. I love pizza.
I do the dough and everything. So I start that.
Homemade from this ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do my own dough because it's just like, I think I got a giant bag of flour like a year ago for like $8, and we still got at least half of it. So I'm just like, pizza dough, everything's got expensive. So make your own pizza dough.
Absolutely. And what did you do Sunday?
Sunday we did wings, rings, and bruschetta.
Nice.
Yeah, so we had some more typical football snacky foods.
So Thursday, Thanksgiving, traditional turkey,
I'd hope so.
Turkey, mashed potato, gravies, corn. My kids both, their significant others both brought over a couple of dishes, and it was kind of like one of those smorgasbords, eat what you can type of things, which was nice, And Sunday, because I'd cooked twice in a 4-day period, I told Selena it was her turn, so we did shake and bake chicken,
So you did chicken after turkey?
Yeah, I like poultry,
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I mean, chicken and pork are the only 2 things that we can eat right now because beef is priced. We've had this conversation.
Yeah, and then and then if you remember, Deb did the homemade soup. She had a nice picture of the homemade soup she did. So that was nice.
Deb. We appreciate you posting up and showing us what you're eating and stuff. Well, more people should do that. And I noticed that we're getting a little more traction when we post food. People are liking it, and they're commenting and stuff. And that's good. We appreciate the love.
I appreciate Randy's response. I'm digging through the refrigerator and I'm trying to find leftovers.
Yeah, well, he said leftover lasagna when I have a chance to dig through the refrigerator. I hope that lasagna was near the front, because if it's near the back, I wouldn't touch that, Randy. He's got 3 growing kids, so once something gets pushed to the back of the fridge, it disappears forever.
It could be, yeah. You just never know. You might want to start getting a Marks a lot and dating that stuff in the back.
Yeah, get a label maker or something.
Borrow the one from Dallas. All right. Anything else, buddy?
I think next week we need to focus a little more on the playoff implications, because we've only got 5 weeks left. We've got 4 teams on bye this weekend. This is the last of the byes.
And one of those teams is your Patriots, but nobody's catching them right now. So
I mean, they've played all the way till the end of the bye, so they kind of really are a game ahead of everybody else. Yep. And so it's going to even out, and then we're going to start seeing a little more drama on win percentages and things like that, and tiebreakers and things to see. And who's going to go to the playoffs?
And if you remember when Dallas and Green Bay tied, I mentioned that tie might come into play for playoff implications later, and it very well could for both teams. So
yeah, and I was kind of hoping the same thing was going to happen with Commanders in Denver, and just have a bunch of ties that are just kind of like fanning out the standings all over the place to kind of screw things up.
Throwing a monkey wrench into everything. Yeah, that'd be fun. All right. So where can the boys and girls get a hold of you at there, Adam?
They can find me at Adam Off the Couch on X or on Instagram. And, of course, you can find us on our, Facebook page, Straight Off the Couch, just facebook.com/Straight Off the Couch. Come for the food. Stay for the fun.
Yeah, we try and make it fun. I threw up a picture last night that had me giggling pretty much the whole night. It was expert level brother trolling. The caricature behind Eli Manning, where Eli looks normal and Peyton has the huge forehead, and he's wearing shorts. That was fantastic. You can find me on the X at TREMUP. That's at TREMUP on Instagram at TearEmUpTerry, and of course on Facebook at the / Straight Off the Couch. So for my broadcast partner, don't leave things unsaid. Check on those you love. Until next week. See you later, everybody.